Hey everyone, it's the one and only magnificent bird, Beak, speaking to you today. And in today's video, I'm back at it with another character review, and this character review will be on the brand new Gold Mythic Adam, who just came into the game, who's going to be on one of the promo wheels, the advanced recruit mythic wheel, promo wheel. That's the one. I almost said ultra mythic. But yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be going over that. And I hope all of you are doing good and staying safe out there. And if you liked the video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And feel free to leave a comment down below. And if you want to share the video, that would be great too. If you do any of those four things, that would be very much appreciated by me. And I'm doing pretty good, and I'm staying safe out there. And if you hear any disruptive noises beside me, I have special guest Coco in the room with me here tonight. So if you hear any just moving around, stuff like that, that's going to be her, because she's literally just looking out the window as I'm speaking. But enough of that. Let's go ahead and get started with this character review, shall we? Adam, Saviors. His trait is strong. His role is a control toon. And his allegiance is a member of the Saviors. Let's take a look at his stats. His attack stat is 44,657. His defensive stat is 13,955. And his HP is 34,423. So let's take a look at his adrenaline rush. Collateral shot. The recharge rate is 55 AP, so that's a little bit faster than most gold mythics. Deal 900% damage plus 400% for each other controlled teammate to a line of enemies. All Saviors Allegiant teammates get 100% stun resistance for 3 turns. With equal odds, apply stun to either the target or that line of enemies for 2 turns. Okay, so he's going to be dealing right off the bat 900% damage, which that's going to be a pretty good amount to do right off the bat. Plus another 400% damage for each other control teammate. So with him being on the team, and he's a control toon, so that's an additional 400% right there. Plus, let's see who else is on the team that potentially could be on the team. Potentially Eva and Ghost. So that's 800% damage right there. So it's going to be 400% for each other. So now, you know what? Each other. So that would that count for him doing another 400? It says for each other, but sometimes their wording on shit is confusing. So either he's going to be counted in that, or it's going to just be the other teammates. But either way, 900% damage ain't bad at all. But he is a control toon, so all Savior Allegiance teammates will be getting 100% stun resistance. And, you know, that's going to be good for the Stellar Road maps. But honestly, like in CRW raids, I don't see a whole lot of people running a Savior's Allegiance team. However, in stellar roadmaps where you need the saviors, it's going to be really good for that, honestly. Plus, he's going to apply stun to either the target or that line of enemies for 2 turns. So, 1 turn, it could be the whole line that gets stunned, or just the target for 2 turns. Either way, that's going to be a really good thing, and depending on the target you're targeting that you want to be stunned, that is going to be great, and that could definitely buy you some time. So, with the stellar roadmaps, you know, that's going to be really great and really useful to take advantage of all the saviors' teammates getting that stun resistance, you know, that 100% stun resistance for 3 turns. But outside of stellar roadmaps, I don't know. We'll see. He has amped, but he has amped 2, which we will get to. That's definitely new, but we'll get to it. So far, I mean, his adrenaline rush has potential. Could it have potential outside of stellar roadmaps? Maybe. I don't know, but it'll definitely help out with the stellar roadmaps for sure, I feel like. So, let's go ahead and talk about his signature move. Special Delivery. The initial cooldown is turn 1. 1 turn for the cooldown. Number of uses unlimited. Make a critical attack against an enemy for 800% damage. Disarm that line of enemies for 1 turn plus 1 duration if there are at least 1 other Savior's Allegiance teammate. Okay, so he's making a critical attack against the enemy for 800% damage, plus he's going to be disarming that line of enemies for 1 turn, which disarming can be really, it's really good. You know, on certain tunes, it's better on certain tunes than it is others, but the fact that he doesn't have disarming as a specialist skill and he has it in his kit, specifically his signature move, that is actually pretty good. I like that, because you never know when you might need to disarm a mofo. So, that I do like. And it is only for 1 turn, but they definitely want you to build Adam around a Savior's Allegiance, because you will get basically another turn if there's at least 1 other Savior's Allegiance teammate. So if there's a team of 5 Saviors and Adam's on it, does that mean a line of enemies is going to be disarmed for 5 turns, potentially? Is that how I'm reading that correctly? I guess I am, but if that's the case, then on some of those stellar roadmaps, that's going to be really good, you know. You have some annoying-ass enemies on those roadmaps, so that's going to be really good if that's the case. So let's take a look at his mythic abilities. Precision. Enemy resistance are 40% lower against this fighter. I'm not really going to talk about this. You should be leveling up precision anyway, as you should be doing that with all of your controlled tunes, if you're able to, of course. Adamant Adam, 100% taunt resistance and 100% impair resistance. Again, this is going to be a really good one, especially especially if you're putting him on a Savior's team with the stellar roadmaps, where tunes can easily get taunted, can easily get impaired. Adam, he won't have that problem. And especially with his specialist skill, that's going to make that impair and taunt resistance even more the better. But unfortunately, he can still get stunned. But, at least he won't be able to get impaired. So I guess in Scopely's minds, oh, we didn't want to make him too powerful, you know. But anyway, I would definitely level up Adamant Adam for sure, because he won't be able to get taunted or impaired, which is going to be really nice. 30 minutes or less, when Amped 2 triggers, 100% chance to disarm an enemy for 2 turns. Ooh, this is going to be really nice. And whenever Amped, we already know how Amped works. You know, if the tune is at full HP, that means Amped is going to trigger. And when that happens with Adam, an enemy is going to get disarmed for 2 turns. And that potentially could be happening every turn, as we're going to talk about. Which I feel like there are going to be certain weapons that, you know, certain tunes with certain weapons that if they're disarmed, you will definitely have a better chance, a better fighting chance against them, which won't be a bad thing at all. So that's where that disarm is going to come in handy for sure. So I would definitely level up 30 minutes or less. Pizza time. At the start of each turn, if at least one enemy is disarmed, all teammates cleanse a negative status effect and get 100% attack for 2 turns. So, just like Pizza Time is going to work really well with 30 minutes or less, because when Amped 2 gets triggered, that means an enemy is going to get disarmed for 2 turns, and it says at the start of each turn, if at least one enemy is disarmed, all teammates will cleanse negative status effects, which, if there are any teammates of yours that are suffering from bleed, burn, whatever is negative, they're going to get cleansed if at least one enemy is disarmed, and that's going to be a really good thing. That's why you are going to want to level up all of his mythic abilities. All of Adam's mythic abilities are going to work really well, and it's just the fact that, you know, you're going to have to suck it up and level up all of his mythic abilities, no ifs, ands, and buts about it, to get the absolute most use out of Adam. So, pretty good. And I see what you're doing there, Scopely. Pizza time. You getting that from Spider-Man 2? You know, Tobey Maguire? Oh, Pizza time. I gotcha. Probably one of the best Spider-Man movies of all time. Absolutely. And a lot of people's probably a lot of people's favorite Spider-Man movie. Definitely one of the best ones. Absolutely. Now, let's take a look at the specialist skill. Specialist skill. Amped 2. At the start of this fighter's turn, they heal for 30% of their max HP. If this fighter is at 100% HP, they get 50% of their max AP. So, obviously, this is just like Amped at the start of battle. Most likely, Adam is going to be at full HP. That means he's going to get half of his AP, because he'll be at max HP. But however, if something happens and he happens to get stunned, or some kind of nonsense happens and he's got less than 100% HP, he will be healed 30% of his max HP, and I'm assuming that's going to happen every turn. Then that would mean once he gets back up to 100% HP, he's going to get 50% AP, which is going to help him rush a lot quicker. So potentially that's going to be pretty good, because, I mean, Amped on the right tune is already ridiculous. Like Sebastian Milton, for example. That's just ridiculous, but Amped, well, Crag the Destroyer, Amped works really good on him too, but a tune that Amped really doesn't have an effect on me personally is Lily Call. She's just a really bad tune overall, so like, I would say Sebastian Milton and Crag the Destroyer, you know, that's where you can notice the Amped is really good. With Lily, she's not a big enough threat like she was presented to be on paper. Nah, not really. But Adam potentially could be pretty good. We'll have to wait and see for sure. But that's interesting because he could potentially get healed every turn, thus making his total of, you know, bringing his max HP to 100%, then he will get 50 of his, AP. So we'll have to see how that works. And I would say let's take a look at his weapon, but he doesn't have one, so you can pretty much put whatever you want into his hands. So there is a weapon. We will take a quick look at it. Let me see. I'm good. I don't want to buy a scarf. I'm good. Nah. Okay, where is it at? Right here, I think it is. So, here we have a weapon. Adam Savage Broken Baseball Bat. 40% attack, a huge bonus to AP when attacking, improved AP down, plus impair. When attacking, a 60% chance the target gets impair for 3 turns and minus 20 AP. Savior's Revenge. When a teammate dies, all saviors cleanse 2 negative effects and 3 enemies get minus 50 AP. I'm just going to say this right off the bat. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about this weapon, only because, like, I think it's pretty obvious this weapon is definitely not worth $100. Nah. Honestly, they could bring this weapon back around. It's not super impressive at all. I don't know. You can craft something way better than this, and you'll live. So yeah, I don't think it's personally worth the $100, but if you do, then you do you. But I would recommend save your money. But overall, so the artwork there, it looks like he's breaking into somebody's car, and it doesn't look like a walker. It looks like somebody's like maybe hiding from him or something, maybe in the zombie apocalypse, and perhaps someone escaped the sanctuary and they thought they could get away, but they weren't able to successfully get away. So Adam probably volunteered, or he was asked to hunt down this individual to either kill them or to bring them back to the sanctuary. I'm guessing, I don't know, but that's kind of, it looks like the person, like, they're like, oh shit, he found me, you know. That's kind of the visual I'm getting with the hands, you know. Or it could just be like they were totally he was just randomly searching a car. It could be that simple, but I just like that theory of someone tried to escape the sanctuary, but they weren't able to get away for long, and Adam found them and either finished them off or was forced them to go back to the sanctuary. Now, would I pull this tune right now? I don't think I would. Only because he's going to show up in the Stellar Wheel. You know what I mean? Heck, Amber was in the Stellar Wheel. I think let me see. Mew. Yeah, Mew is in there right now as we speak. Even Kate is in there. Javier is next. Heck, they even got Blue Kenny in there. Like, Blue Javier will be in there, and then eventually Adam. For sure. It's probably going to take more than a month, obviously, but I would probably wait, because they are most likely going to be in the Stellar Wheel. So, but if you feel like you have the coins, if you feel like you have the tokens, then go ahead and pull if you would like to, but I don't know. If I'm gonna wait, I think I'm gonna wait and try to pull for him on the Stellar Wheel, just to see if I can get him. I mean, why not? It could happen. You've seen my very first Stellar pull video. I got a 5 times Green Clementine from that. Which, by the way, I don't use her outside of the Stellar road maps. Like, I'm just saying, you know, those are the tunes that are good for those specific road maps. And Adam, I feel like he's going to be a nice addition within the Stellar road maps. Outside of the Stellar road maps, I don't know. Maybe you could put him in an all-strong team potentially, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Perhaps you can. There's been, like, who was it? It was, I think it was Text. He made a video more recently where he made an attacking team for, like, newer players, and I mean, let's see, who his leader that he made, the leader that he made was Maggie. I thought, like, okay, that's a good start. Then, okay, he put Dale in there, which, Thanksgiving Dale, which I thought, that's an interesting choice. I'll just say that. It's just something I didn't think of. He's someone in my roster that's just been collecting dust. Like, I don't know. I mean, it could work if I really wanted to try to make it work. It potentially could work. I'm not saying he's terrible, but I was like, really? Okay. Because I know he put Maggie, Thanksgiving, Dale, Crag, Eva, and Ghost, and it was somebody else. I can't remember the last tune, but I'm like, maybe that could work. That's actually potentially going to be interesting. But me, I'm all about the lone wolves, so. But what are your thoughts on Gold Mythic Adam? Are you going to be pulling for him now, or are you just going to be waiting until he pops up in the Stellar Wheel? And if you have already pulled for him, let me know what you think of him so far. And I'm going to wait. I might try to pull for him with the Stellar Wheel. Just because me personally, I don't see a use. I don't see a bigger use outside of the Stellar road maps for him. But you never know. Now, this portion of the video, I just want to talk about this. I want to discuss the Purge election year and the Forever Purge. I had just seen the Forever Purge for the first time last night. So, if you don't want to hear anything about the Purge election year or the Forever Purge, I understand. You are safe to go ahead and click off now if you want to, because what I'm going to talk about, there's no way I can really talk about what I want to talk about without getting into spoilers. So this part is going to contain spoilers, obviously, because election year and the Forever Purge are direct sequels to each other. So I'll give you a minute to go ahead and click off if you don't want to hear anything, but if you want to stick around and hear what I got to say, cool. Alright, so, spoilers for the Purge election year and spoilers for the Forever Purge. So, the end of the Purge election year, which is the third movie in the franchise, sees Senator Charlie Roan. She's the woman that wants to win the presidency and wants to get into the Oval Office and stop the Purge, right? So Charlie Rowe, the movie ends with Senator Charlie Rowe winning the presidency and surviving the night of the Purge because the NFFA, they decided to, change up a law or a rule of the Purge saying that, all government officials can be targeted on Purge night, and they specifically did that in the hopes of getting her eliminated during Purge night. And, well, obviously that didn't work out because she ended up surviving the night, even though she ended up getting captured and almost killed by the NFFA and the minister of the NFFA, which, ironically, he was running, against her in the election. But anyway, Charlie Rowe, she wins the election by a landslide, and then there are reports of there's reports of supporters of the NFFA that are reacting to this defeat violently, and there's there's protests, and they're beating up people, riots, all that stuff. Well, that gets concluded because we go to the Forever Purge, and I had to look this up on Google, and thank God I did, because that's one thing about the Forever Purge. They didn't answer this clearly, because pretty much at the beginning of the Forever Purge, the NFFA got voted back into power, and they reinstated the Purge immediately. And I had to look this up on Google before I watched the movie, because I wanted a more clear answer on this. Charlie Rowe, she ended up serving 2 terms successfully. She served 8 years, so she put a stop to the Purge for 8 years, but then when her 2 terms ended and she had to step down, the NFFA got voted back into power, and they reinstated the Purge immediately. Well, the Purge starts. We got this rich family that runs a ranch. So the Forever Purge primarily takes place in Texas and Mexico, and that'll be pretty important. So the Purge starts, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, nothing's really happening, and then they just go through the night, and the Purge is over, and I'm thinking, oh, what the hell? What's going on here? I'm thinking, is the movie really gonna, what's going on exactly? But I guess I was thinking to myself, I guess it would be kind of interesting to see the aftermath of the Purge. But, I would have been if the movie really ends so soon, that would be, one hell of a disappointing Purge movie. Oh, no. This is where it starts to pick up. The next day, you got people going back to their lives. You got this one woman who's a manager of this butcherer shop, I believe. She runs the kitchen for her boss, and the news is on, and the reporters are talking about the destruction and the chaos and the bodies on the street, all that stuff. And then next thing you know, you hear someone yell in the background, "Fake news," and then bam, he gets shot in the head on TV, and you're thinking, oh shit, what the hell? The Purge is over, but yet people are still getting killed. Shit's kicking off, and well, yeah, so the woman, she sees that there's this goat in a cage, And obviously she's dumb, but I guess we have to have dumb characters to get certain stuff kicked off. So she ends up trying to open the gate, but she ends up activating some sort of trap or a latch, and then like the gate, it flips her over. Like the gate, a section of the gate closes down on her neck and it flips her over on top of the cage. And you got these two crazy psychos that have these, one has a bunny mask, the other has a bunny mask, and they're gonna kill her. She's like, no, you can't do this, the purge is over. And they're like, oh no, this is the forever purge. We're gonna purge on as long as we want to. So, even though the purge is supposed to be over, these are not random attacks. This has been planned ahead of time by a group called Ever After Purgers. So the moral of this is the purge has been gone for so long, 8 years, that even though they were probably purging on the night that they were supposed to purge, one night is not enough for them. So, the NFFA, pretty much, you have this rich family, and you have this main character, Juan, and his wife, I think her name is Adele, or it might not be Adele, but I know it starts with A. But anyway, this rich family that owns this ranch, and Juan and his wife, they all are on the run, and they end up having to, so the NFFA, they can't control the violence all around the country, all around of America, so they declare martial law, and they're going to go around the whole country, and either people have to get inside and bunker down in their homes, or they will be shot on sight by the NFFA. So, the main character, Juan, his wife, and the rich family that he works for on this ranch, they end up having to go to Mexico because Mexico and Canada are allowing Americans sanctuary until everything is getting straightened out in America, and they have 6 hours to do so, which they are in Texas, so they have to go to Mexico, which Juan and his wife at the beginning of the movie, they escaped Mexico to begin with, but now they're being forced to go back into Mexico for safety from the Forever Purge and the Ever After Purgers and the NFFA. So they end up getting into Mexico. They have help because the borders end up closing a little bit earlier, but then they end up getting another way there by this guy. I wish I could remember his name. I would have to watch it again, but anyway, this guy and these other Mexicans, they help all of them get into Mexico, and I love the irony of this, right? The NFFA are literally getting destroyed and consumed by the very thing they created that they thought that would only be for one night. But that's not the case. So the NFFA, they created the Purge in hopes of helping satisfy everyone's bloodlust, anything they want to do for 12 hours, but where the Purge was gone for so long, people just simply, they couldn't just keep it in for one night, they had to keep on purging, despite the Purge is supposed to be over. So, the United States is pretty much a war zone everywhere by the end of this movie, because yeah, the NFFA, they've lost control of everybody that is purging after the Purge. So, I get that the Purge movies are not going to be for everybody. I understand that. It's only going to be for a select few, but I gotta say, I don't have a favorite Purge movie. I like them all about the same. However, okay, I will say about Anarchy, one negative I have about Anarchy is there's a lot of shaky cam in that movie. There's a lot of shaky cam in the second one where there shouldn't be, but they fixed that with the other sequels, thank goodness. But like I don't know what happened there, but I would say that's an easy negative about Anarchy. There's a lot of shaky cam. Plus, there's a sequence where these people are hiding. You have the main characters of Leo, then you have this mother and daughter, and then you have a married couple, and they're going through this like tunnel or like these like train tracks, and there's these people hiding in complete darkness, but then these people with like a flamethrower and just like these other vehicles come running through. But what do you think the dumbass people do? They come running out of their hiding spot so they can get killed. Like, I guess they wanted to add to the body count of Anarchy, because that's literally the only reason I can think of why they did that. They weren't going to be seen. They were totally hidden. But whatever. There are negatives I can think of. Are there negatives I can think of with the others? I'm sure if I watch them enough, I can definitely... Actually, with the Forever Purge, I kind of did give an example of some negative things, like there are dumb people in the movie. Like that one woman who ends up falling for the trap with the goat, with the goat in the cage. That was obviously a trap, but that woman, she ended up surviving because she had help from her boss. So... that's one example of a negative with the Forever Purge. There are some dumb people. Anarchy, that was pretty easy. A lot of shaky cam throughout that movie, which sucked because it was a pretty decent movie. Now, I think that's all I got to say about the Purge. Now, you know what? I do have one more thing. There will be a couple of more Purge polls, so just be on the lookout for them. Probably not too many, but there's going to be a couple. I got a couple in mind about asking about the NFFA, asking about certain characters, stuff like that. There won't be too many, but I just wanted to let you guys know. And I believe that's going to be all. Yeah, I think that's all I got. I want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by and for your continued support. And if you want to hit that like button, feel free to do that. And if you want to leave a comment on anything discussed today, that would be very much appreciated. And if you're new, welcome on in. I appreciate having you. And I am Buck Beak, and I'm going to go fly away back to my nest. Until next time, bye guys.